guess the places that I've been. You never guess the places that I've been. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. I'm never gonna let the day begin. Never gonna let the day begin. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, and I'll just make this bed my home. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Better from above. Nothing's ever as it seems, yeah, except in that world that I dream of. Never gonna lose the ones I love. Never gonna lose the ones I love. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that world that I dream of. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, 'cause I can't face this day alone. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Give me my dreams. Give me my dreams.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero.
Our response, Israel's response, will be very, very forceful.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is warning Iran against attacking Israel, saying any response would be met with overwhelming force. He appeared on Fox Sunday Morning Futures.
If Iran attacks Israel, either directly or through proxies, either with ballistic missiles or UAVs or killer drones, it will make a terrible mistake.
Netanyahu is set to meet with President Trump at the White House this week as Trump weighs whether to launch another military action. President Trump is directing the Interior Department to place signs outside the Smithsonian National Museum of American History warning of alleged historical inaccuracies. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries appeared on CNN's State of the Union.
Here's the thing. Black history is American history, and we are not going to let the extremists whitewash it. Not now, not ever.
Jeffries says Democrats will pursue legislative and legal action to challenge the order. German police say the suspect in the deadly attack on Berlin's Pride Festival is dead after he was shot by officers following a nearly 24-hour manhunt. Authorities say one woman was killed and at least 29 others were injured when a van struck a crowd, and the suspect attacked people with a machete. A new survey reveals that construction is booming when it comes to wage increases.
An analysis by ADP found that last month pay growth for job changers in construction was up nearly 13%. Median gross pay was over $59,000 compared to $43,000 for all job switchers that month. ADP says the hiring boom for construction workers, along with their increasing salaries, is likely to continue while apprenticeships and trade programs grow. I'm Rob Martier.
In precious metals, gold is trading at just shy of $4,100 an ounce, while silver is at $60 an ounce. From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Business owners, are you paying high phone bills for old school systems and lousy service? StrongTel cuts your phone bills in half and turns every phone you own into a feature-rich business system. Sean Roddy, CEO of Hennings Brothers Drilling, had this to say. We've been a StrongTel customer for over 10 years. It's great. It even includes an intercom with video to our equipment yard. I can watch live from anywhere with my smartphone. I'd recommend StrongTel to anyone. Never miss a customer call again with your StrongTel business system. StrongTel is a proud iTex partner and always welcomes your iTex dollars. You'll get award-winning StrongTel service, a business-class phone system, and cut your phone bill in half. Visit strongtel.com. That's StrongTel, StrongTel.com. It's StrongTel.
More than 1.5 million cartons of eggs are being recalled because of possible salmonella contamination.
The FDA says the voluntary recall was put out by Midwest Poultry Services for brown and white shell eggs. The eggs were sold under several brands in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, New Mexico, and Mississippi, with labeling including Kroger's, Brookshire's, Country Morning, Simple Truth, and Sunups, along with a number of bulk grade A and grade AA egg cartons. No illnesses have been reported. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
Several families of 9/11 victims are beginning a petition that will have the mayor of New York City banned from the ceremony marking the 25th anniversary of the attacks.
Organizers accuse Mayor Zohran Mamdani of supporting groups and individuals who've been critical of America and being sympathetic towards radical views. The New York Post reports the petition was started by Giovanni Galante, whose 29-year-old wife, Grace, was killed during the terrorist attack at Ground Zero. A spokesperson for City Hall said Mamdani still plans to attend the ceremony to stand with victims. In New York, I'm Lizzie Radabali.
A high-quality bootleg copy of the Odyssey was briefly leaked online after being posted on X and viewed by millions. The post went viral, reaching more than 2 million views before the film was removed following a copyright takedown, and that account was suspended. AAA reports the national average price for a gallon of gas is $4.11. The highest average is in Mono County, California at $6.85, while the lowest in Floyd County, Indiana is $3.29. For USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero.
iLocal.net is offering a free website analysis to improve the online presence of your business. Business owners across the U.S. turn to iLocal.net to improve their search engine rankings. Search engines are constantly changing their algorithms. You need the professionals who know how to use those changes to benefit your business. Don't hope for new customers. Get found and be chosen. Visit iLocal.net/go for your free website analysis. iLocal.net/go.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX-15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today. Truckers spend lots of hours on the road. So when it comes to staying connected, you need a headset that works just as hard as you do. Blue Parrot is the #1 headset brand for professional drivers, and we've taken the quality you've come to expect from us and made it even better. Check out our newest headsets, the Pro B350 and Pro B450, offering you more hours of talk time, better voice control, extreme comfort, and industry-leading AI voice isolation microphones. So you can spend more time talking about the important things and less time repeating yourself. To get yours, check out BlueParrot.com. Blue Parrot, hear and be heard.
Another dark night on the interstate. Another 100 miles in the pouring rain. These are worth all the time I've spent away. Another dark night on the interstate. I'm driving through the year, trying to make it right. My baby's at home, hope she's doing alright. Miss my dogs and I miss my girls. I'm 1,000 miles away from my old world.
Well, alrighty then. Without further ado, looks like it's time to cue the microphone. Let's roll into a Monday. Alrighty, so not necessarily the greatest day of the week. And hard to believe we would be closing out the final weekend of July here. And kicking off the final days of July is next weekend. We'll be rolling into August. But first things first, we welcome you aboard the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios. A quiet, beautiful summer night outside the secret bunker. Right about 70 degrees. As we turn the page on the calendar, we'll make our way into the 27th day of July from coast to coast. Again, welcome aboard. Trust you had a good weekend. I know for many out there it was a hot one. You've got the latest on the heat dome. Yeah, where will temperatures be going over the coming days? Looks like we'll be watching a transition. Yeah, the big-time heat in the center of the country begins to shift further west. Let's just say it's going to be a hot week, especially out toward the Four Corners. Much of California getting ready for the heat to really settle in later this week. But we kick things off tonight. A look at our travelers' weather. There are some areas, stormy conditions that'll be definitely slowing you down on the interstates out there. Yeah, with the big-time heating we saw this past day. Yeah, saw some thunderstorms breaking out with the heating of the day. They're hanging on here into the late evening hours. Some of them still packing a punch. In most cases where we see severe thunderstorm warnings, we're talking 60-mile-an-hour winds and torrential downpours. Big-time showers, thunderstorms, heavy rain impacting south central and southwestern Indiana. We've seen several rounds push through the Evansville area. Heavy storms now pounding into Owensboro, Kentucky, right along the Indiana-Kentucky line there. Other clusters of showers and thunderstorms right through central Kentucky. Some of those heavy rains going to be pushing toward London, Kentucky there. Of course, where we have our famous truck stop. Is that exit 42 of I-75? Heavy rains from Somerset over toward Columbia, Kentucky. Bardstown, Springfield, Lebanon, Kentucky. More shower and thunderstorm activity through central and western Tennessee. Areas from, say, Cookeville to Nashville, Murfreesboro, most of that lighter to moderate rain. We have an area cluster of some of those stronger storms, especially along Interstate 40 there in western Tennessee. That'll be slowing you down. Torrential downpours, some of those are prompting severe thunderstorm warnings. So from the Centerville to Columbia, Tennessee. Let's break down what we anticipate as we get the new week underway. We will be looking at more severe weather ramping up here, bringing the risk of damaging winds and hail, flash flooding during some of these thunderstorms, well away from the severe threat in parts of the Northeast as well. As these storms move along the northern edge of the heat dome across the plains, the risk for severe weather this upcoming week is going to focus along a corridor spanning from central portions of the plains through the Midwest and eventually the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic, according to AccuWeather. As we speak here, Sunday night into Monday morning, storms becoming somewhat more widespread as this threat expands across the Midwest with an ample amount of heat and humidity to feed off of. The setup for thunderstorm activity could create some powerful complexes of thunderstorms, wide swaths of damaging wind gusts. All right, for the day ahead, the severe weather threat continues here on into Monday. The greatest risk is going to be centered over the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley. Strong storms could bring the risk of hail and damaging wind gusts, bringing down tree limbs, power outages. Any thunderstorms can impact outdoor plans with lots of lightning and flooding downpours. The more widespread activity is going to be late afternoon onward, kind of disrupting the evening commute. I know our local forecast is showing these storms dropping out of, say, Michigan and northern Indiana through Ohio, through much of the overnight hours, Monday night into Tuesday morning. At this point, if it all pans out, our zone would be between like 1 and 3 a.m. So some 24 hours from now, we'll be keeping an eye on strong storms. Widely separated strong to severe storms are expected across portions of the plains for Monday afternoon and evening. Day-to-day thunderstorm activity can sometimes rely on where the previous round of thunderstorms develop, which makes pinning down the exact location with the highest risk pretty difficult until just a matter of hours before those storms form. Still, areas in the mid-Atlantic from Raleigh, North Carolina to New York City will be at risk for stronger storms come Tuesday. Hail, damaging wind gusts, flooding, downpours impacting travel, especially along that Interstate 95 corridor. Heavy rain Tuesday to Tuesday night, increase in the risk of flash flooding for much of the Northeast. Areas north of the severe weather threat, say Buffalo, New York, and Boston, for instance, will receive prolonged heavy rain that could lead to some flash flooding there. That flooding risk continues into midweek across portions of New England. Widespread showers and thunderstorms causing instances of flash flooding, especially in urban and poor drainage areas. So maybe disrupting travel, including, again, the Interstate 95 corridor. But the heat, over the weekend, these heat indices have been off the charts through much of the heart of the country. That large dome of high pressure bringing the heat to central portions of the plains this week begins to shift westward by later this week. As this occurs, temperatures are going to be climbing well above average across much of the southwest through interior California. Many areas forecast to see maybe your highest temperatures of the year so far. Now, I know we're looking several days ahead, but by Friday, that heat dome is expected to be centered over Utah, allowing excessive heat to expand across much of the southwest into interior California. The heat dome could center even further southwest for a time as we head into next weekend, the first few days of August coming our way. Given the forecast position for the high pressure area associated with the expansive heat dome out west, there could be enough easterly breezes to bring intense heat to the Los Angeles basin next weekend. Highs well into the 90s, they tell us. Now, historical average for L.A. in the lower 80s this time of year. So we're talking 10, 15 degrees warmer than average. Further east across the desert southwest, highs are expected to peak between 110 and 120 degrees by next weekend. Exceptionally high overnight low temperatures, bringing the increased risk of heat-related illness as the body has little opportunity to recover from the daytime heat. Phoenix, Las Vegas, Palm Springs, California, for example, could experience their highest temperatures of the year so far. Thunderstorms from the North American monsoon becoming less widespread as that heat dome strengthens over the region. Despite fewer storms, any dry lightning strikes combined with the hot temperatures and dry vegetation could increase the wildfire risk. We saw a lot of that here with some of those storms late last week. Thousands of lightning strikes, many of which were dry lightning, especially over eastern Oregon, igniting a number of new wildfires in that region. So again, during periods of extreme heat and less dense air, the airline industry, they say, I didn't realize that the heat impacted the air travel like this. The airline industry has to closely scrutinize baggage weight as longer takeoff distance is needed to get those planes off the ground in the intense heat. So there you go. Travelers' weather will break down a bit more what forecasters have in mind when it comes to potential tropical activity as we head through the first half of August coming up here. And as I mentioned, the dry lightning, the tinder dry conditions, the extreme heat, and lightning strikes have fueled an uptick in wildfires across eastern Washington, eastern Oregon, and Idaho in recent days. At the same time, fires continue to burn across parts of southern Canada, the growing fires threatening nearby communities, and of course the smoke expected to worsen air quality across portions of the northern U.S. and southern Canada. We'll give you more as we move ahead. First things first, it's 844-844-3388. Ready for a new day? The greatest day of the week. Shout out to Cap and Ron as we get it started here.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today. Ready to beat the heat this summer? Keep your long haul, short haul, off-road adventure, or just stay cool while on site with Be Cool. Designed with on or off-the-road vehicles in mind, Be Cool offers you DC-powered cooling, low voltage protection, easy installation, and more. Beat the heat with Be Cool. It's the cooler way to go. With air conditioners for semi-trucks starting at $888. Get yours today. Visit b-coolaircon.com or call 778-590-5000. That's 778-590-5000. It's time to step up your fuel filtration game. The AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel system doesn't just filter fuel like the others. It fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The AirDog removes contaminants, including particulates, water, air, and vapor, optimizing the pressure feed, providing your engine with the ultra-clean supply of fuel it needs for the quickest starts, smoothest idle, best fuel economy, and highest performance possible. Get started on the road to optimization today at airdogdiesel.com. Truckers spend lots of hours on the road, so when it comes to staying connected, you need a headset that works just as hard as you do. Blue Parrot is the #1 headset brand for professional drivers, and we've taken the quality you've come to expect from us and made it even better. Check out our newest headsets, the Pro B350 and Pro B450, offering you more hours of talk time, better voice control, extreme comfort, and industry-leading AI voice isolation microphones, so you can spend more time talking about the important things and less time repeating yourself. To get yours, check out BlueParrot.com. Blue Parrot, hear and be heard.
Alrighty. Hello to Scrapyard. Waving all five, kicking things off this Sunday night into Monday morning. Yeah, there's the Iron Duck checking in from Fargo, North Dakota. We were up to 108 this past day. Right now, 87 degrees. I'll be making my steel delivery in the morning. All right, drivers, keep the rubber side down. That was a hot one, 108. Wow. Saddle up, nocturnal listeners. The midnight hour. The greatest day of the week. Hello, Pappy. 70 degrees, Harrison, Ohio. Beautiful night. Another weekend down. Another week underway. Let's go. Well, how about Kentucky Ken? Good morning, Overnight Drive crew and Steve Sommers. Happy Monday. Hopefully, everyone had a great weekend. Kentucky Ken and the Queen listening in from northern Kentucky. Keep it between the stripes and the solid drivers. Everybody be safe out there. John Ferguson. Well. Here we are, the start of a new week. My week actually started Saturday. We're heading west here. Just finished up my day here in Rawlins, Wyoming. We'll deliver in Idaho tomorrow and Tuesday. Hopefully, get a load back, be back by the weekend. Currently a nice 78 degrees. Yeah, had a few passing showers earlier, some dry lightning strikes along with it. Anyhow, hope everybody had a great weekend. Looking forward to some county fair activity this coming weekend up in Xenia, Ohio with the family. Very good. Praying for everybody's well-being. Hope everyone has a good, safe night tonight. Hello, Michael. Music City, USA on board. A little soggy there, right? All right, Buckeye Boys, San Antone, Texas, 85 degrees at this hour. Was able to deliver to the convention center here, no issues. Now I just sit and wait till Tuesday to pick up, then take to another location nearby, deliver there, then we wait till Wednesday to pick that one up and head back. Have a great night, all, everybody. Be careful out there. Santa Claus, top of the morning, Steve, 76 degrees in Wilton, California tonight. We're camping at the festival here. It's somewhat similar to the Burning Man Festival. I'm going to be doing my DJing gig here. All right, have fun. 103 degrees, so hot in the house. Bullhead City, Arizona. Brett checking in at this hour. So you're what, a little after 9 o'clock in the evening, still 103. Let's see, the lovely Dingbat here checking in. Brain Dead's snoring away with the hounds. I have no clue who's snoring as the AC is cranked to the Beefkeeper 3000 setting. I kind of took it easy this past day, doing a few things outside, frequent breaks, lots of water and Gatorade, and a confused Brain Dead as he had a hard time figuring out if he wanted to listen to the cards game or the race. But ultimately, he settled on the race. Saw earlier, St. Louis had a heat indice of like 130 this past day. Wow. Yeah, taking care of some stuff on the computer before I'll be hitting the hay as well. Oh, and before I forget, 150 days till Christmas. Go Gators. And Brett there in Bullhead City says our forecast is 112 degrees for a high temperature on Monday. All right, speaking of our old friend, the Brain Dead, he normally checks in with his sports updates. He did sit down at the trusty computer to give me a full report, a full update. Racing activity was, of course, Indianapolis over the weekend there. Winners, losers. That and so much more. So we'll break that all down for you as we roll into the brand new day. All right, I found it kind of fascinating. As the World Cup, of course, was all about travelers, people coming from all over the world. It was initially about soccer, but for the Scottish travelers, it quickly became about beer. Remember the discussions during that historic tournament? They used Boston as their home base, became known for showing up at all kind of different events in droves, singing, drinking. Do they ever sleep? Do they ever get tired? Whether it was Fenway Park or the local pub, the Scottish fans that drank multiple establishments dry, recall. One example was the Black Rose, where a local fan remarked that the bar had never gone dry in its 50-year history. With the Scottish travelers around, however, the venue ran out of drinks, including water, for the first time. Yeah, Scotland played 2 out of their 3 World Cup games at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. During that time, though, the fans known as the Tartan Army, referring to the tartan pattern, a.k.a. plaid, they fell in love with one particular American staple native to the area, none other than Samuel Adams. In particular, the Scots loved Samuel Adams Boston Lager so much that the brewery pub ran out. A company told ABC News at the time that the flagship tap room went dry after the Tartan Army drank 4 times what is typically sold. That was all during Scotland's first game. Well, they loved the Samuel Adams Boston Lager so much. The new favorite is officially available now in Scotland for fans to responsibly pound on their home turf, they tell us. How about that? News, a service of Industrial Injection. Since 1985, diesel owners have counted on us. Fuel injection, turbochargers, and engine solutions from light-duty pickups to heavy-duty equipment.
USA Radio News, I'm Chuck Brady. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he will go ahead with his planned trip to New York City this week and his plans to attend the UN General Assembly. Netanyahu made the comments on the Fox Sunday Morning Futures program. This in spite of claims from New York City's Mayor Zohran Mamdani to have him arrested. The mayor had claimed last week he explored all city's options, but admitted he had no legal authority to do so. Netanyahu is vowing a very forceful response, he says, if Iran attacks Israel. He said if Iran attacks his country directly or indirectly through proxies, it will make what he called a terrible mistake. He will meet with President Donald Trump at the White House this week, this as the president is weighing his options on what to do in Iran. America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Commerce moves fast. Your business should too. If you're not on the first page of search results, you're losing customers. Out of sight, out of mind is true. Don't let that be you. iLocal.net has helped local businesses dominate search results since 2009. For a limited time, iLocal.net is offering a free website analysis to improve the online presence of your business. Local business owners across the U.S. turn to iLocal.net to improve their search engine rankings. Search engines are constantly changing their algorithms. You need the professionals who know how to use those changes to benefit your business. Don't hope for new customers. Get found and be chosen. Call 888-699-2407 for your free website analysis. Don't wait. Call 888-699-2407. That's 888-699-2407. For your
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX-15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
Truckers spend lots of hours on the road. So when it comes to staying connected, you need a headset that works just as hard as you do. Blue Parrot is the #1 headset brand for professional drivers, and we've taken the quality you've come to expect from us and made it even better. Check out our newest headsets, the Pro B350 and Pro B450, offering you more hours of talk time, better voice control, extreme comfort, and industry-leading AI voice isolation microphones. So you can spend more time talking about the important things and less time repeating yourself. To get yours, check out BlueParrot.com. Blue Parrot, hear and be heard. It's time to step up your fuel filtration game. The AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel system doesn't just filter fuel like the others. It fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The AirDog removes contaminants, including particulates, water, air, and vapor, optimizing the pressure feed, providing your engine with the ultra-clean supply of fuel it needs for the quickest starts, smoothest idle, best fuel economy, and highest performance possible. Get started on the road to optimization today at airdogdiesel.com.
BeCool.com. Ready to beat the heat this summer? Keep your long haul, short haul, off-road adventure, or just stay cool while on site with BeCool. Designed with on or off-the-road vehicles in mind, BeCool offers you DC-powered cooling, low voltage protection, easy installation, and more. Beat the heat with BeCool. It's the cooler way to go. With air conditioners for semi-trucks starting at $888. Get yours today. Visit b-coolaircon.com or call 778-590-5000. That's 778-590-5000. Advertising on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive can make a huge difference for your business.
This is Dean Michael, the tax doctor, and I just want to say advertising on Steve Summers' show has been the best marketing avenue for my business, providing the best return on investment consistently over everything else I've tried. I've done it all from TV commercials, pay-per-click on Google, search engine optimization, social media, and publishing ads in major magazines, but none of them came even close to doing what Steve Summers' show did for me.
If you're interested in advertising on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, drop us an email at ssod@hotshotsecret.com.
Like the men and women who power America, the people at Hot Shot Secret work hard and play harder. We're the fastest growing diesel and oil additive brand in the country. We solve problems. We protect engines. We save you money. And more importantly, time. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Here we go. See if we can't get a new day underway. Monday. Somebody say the greatest day of the week. Yeah, we left off there talking Samuel Adams, the UK-based online craft beer retailer known as Beer Hunter, now officially carrying Sam Adams Boston Lager on their website. But it's rather pricey. I guess translating to about $56 for a 12-pack in US dollars. Smith said we saw incredible interest after the Tartan Army made headlines in Boston. And we've had customers asking us ever since when it would be back available in the UK again. Says he's delighted to bring the beer back to Scotland. Kind of praising the tradition. The beer had become kind of scarce in Scotland somewhere between 2023 and 24. But he says it is an iconic American lager, a fantastic heritage. It can't be glossed over how Samuel Adams himself was a British citizen who fell in love with the idea of the United States, according to his biography. Adams often cited the Magna Carta of 1215 as a reason to protest British rule over Massachusetts. Barons in England had faced resistance for their taxation. And Adams found Boston's struggles against taxes all too familiar. He founded the Sons of Liberty, a paramilitary political organization that coined the phrase, "no taxation without representation." While Adams and taxation may have been part of what separated the British and the Americans at one time, the beer that bears Adams' name is seemingly what's brought them back together, at least the Scottish portion of them. Beer Hunter also lists Sam Adams' American Cherry Wheat Beer, Summer Ale, and the Beers of Summer variety pack on the website there, but I love that Boston Lager. What do you say, Plowboy?
Oh, good morning. Good morning. Damn, Steve, go to Kansas City and verify my information so I don't give out any false news. 90 degrees at 23:30, and it's 102 degrees air temperature.
Heat index?
It feels like you're in
Heat index, yeah.
Yeah. It feels like you're in a damn air fryer on this concrete. I shot it about 8 o'clock and it was at 139. So there you are. I don't know, someplace up here in Troop A, I heard earlier this evening around Kansas City, some place a road buckled over it. So I guess we're going to hear about the railroad trains and all that for a little bit with its high temperature. No, it's nothing we haven't seen before, but just I don't like winter. I like my summer, but could it just be about 10 degrees cooler?
Enough is enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
it's
too
fun
hot.
back there. Go ahead, Steve.
It's too hot.
Yeah. It's fun back there when I was kids growing up on the farm, baling hay there in this time of year. Hell, this is where I made my damn money, but it didn't feel near as. But then again, this damn no truck, like I'm sure our buddy up there out of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, could tell you, you're sitting on top of these damn motors and fly running as a yard truck, sir, and all you're just drawing the heat off this dang no Cummins. And I mean, it put out some heat and get pretty damn hot. But look like what happened over in Berlin could have been a lot worse, but wasn't that one of them religions, the Piecers, that did that? It wasn't a Baptist or a Catholic, was it, Steve?
I saw that. I guess they had the parade and someone plowed into a crowd, right? But I hadn't paid enough attention to see if it was who did it, why they did it, what it was all about.
Yeah. He had a little Islamic name, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but he ain't going to go to prison over it. So there you are. I think it read where he took his life or something had happened. So he ain't going to go on the feeding plan. Thank God. But and my favorite topic got back in the news. They're seeing nothing wrong with the Waymo cars, Steve. Nothing. 50 million miles they say they've driven. And they say you're going to expect to see accidents. I'm still, that was something I was seeing on the news feed here a couple of days ago. And it was like, how in the world can these things keep on making mistakes? But we try to wrangle them in, and they just seem like they go by the wayside. And this is new technology, and I'm sorry. I know I'm arguing with one of your callers. I don't try to do it, but Steve, I know these AI data centers are going to keep it growing. They'll, as much as we try to beat them back. But I was reading in California news. They have had how much water trouble out there? You can't take a shower. You can't do this. You can't water your garden. You can't water your garden. 260 million gallons a year. I think it's a year. Hopefully it's a year. I hope it's not a day. In inland California, they're going to build I think it's a meta data center, something like that. And they're going to pull 260, I've seen where it's 285 million gallons of water out of that Colorado River. This is asinine. How many gallons of water these big damn things are going to take away from the people that need it? But farmers are they tell us how much we can put on our land, but I don't see no regulations going on these data centers. anywhere. It doesn't matter where it's at. And it just about to drive me stone damn crazy because this is just it shouldn't be happening.
I thought in most
can't-
cases, once they get them like up and running, it takes a lot of water when they're building them. But supposedly they're going to have like a recirculating system where it's not constantly sucking up new water once they're in operation. But I'm not for certain about that. But that's what they're supposed to be trying to do.
Well, I was reading also in that, since you said recirculate, they were going to use kind of like a recyclable water.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they were going to pull it out of whatever's, and they voted that down. My understanding, the way I read it, you can dig into it if you ever get time, but it's just after that coming out of California, it's like, wow, here we fight over that Colorado River rights. How many states fight against that Colorado River, trying to get their share of their water every damn year? But I don't know, just kind of amazing how we are in the desert part of the country and using that much water, sir. But I don't know. Oh, by the way, most the only way I don't do this, but I got to. I'd like to wish a belated happy birthday in heaven to two of your old-time callers there, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Sugar Bear.
Yeah.
Would have been 65 this year.
Wow.
And Mr. David Smith.
Mr.
Baseball.
Smith. Yeah, Mr. Smith.
Both had birthdays on the 23rd of this past week. And it just I had a tear in my eye over them because good callers, good friends of everybody, and never met anybody they didn't like. And,
yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Was it colon cancer got Mr. Smith, and was some cancer got Sugar Bear too, didn't it?
I want to say it was the brain cancer. I want to say
I believe that. I think that's the case. Yeah.
But yeah, I seen where I thought that date was getting close, and then I seen where Miss a baby bear. Miss Antoinette posted it on Facebook there Friday. It was like, wow, long. But anyway, just hard to imagine. But other than that, that's about all I know for this. Oh, Steve, we got to give a word of congratulations to some of our law enforcement. I thought I seen in where they got 86 or 89 sex offenders with this World Cup in just one town in New York City. Could you dig that up to correct me if I'm wrong?
I'll have to see what I can find there. I know that they were having, remember they had the human trafficking operation a couple weeks before they got here, but they knew there was going to be high demand for that during the World Cup. Yep.
But other than that, I'll let somebody else call in and talk about racing or something. I'd missed the race today, but too damn hot to even do anything but come to work and go home and get back in the damn air conditioner since we ain't that young no more, Steve.
Right.
Hey, were you in the pool today at 70? Or
it was a delightful weekend here. We haven't really seen the oppressive heat in our area. I mean, you've been like, 80, 83, which is not too bad. In the humidity.
Is it even going to hit y'all this weekend?
They're talking.
I push all my weather towards you.
I think we're supposed to hit maybe like 87 for a high today, which that's not too bad actually compared to what you guys are dealing with.
No, I figured it'd be a couple of days and y'all be having it because I was always teasing Eskimo mom about, 2 days out you got hot weather or you got snow coming, whatever. But all right. I'll talk to y'all later.
Bye, boy.
Appreciate
Have a
it.
good morning. Thanks
Have a
for
good-
checking in. There you go. Monday underway. It's 844-844-3388. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
Dean Michael, the tax doctor here. Are you tired of those tax problems following you around like a dark cloud? Always in the back of your mind? Losing sleep at night? Call me now and get your life back. 888-557-4020 or go to mytaxhelpmd.com. Pretending they're not there won't make them go away. The IRS isn't going to forget. They will levy your bank account and garnish your wages. Don't wait for that to happen. I'm not telling you these things to scare you. I'm telling you so you can benefit from my years of experience. Now is the time to act. 888-557-4020.
Truckers spend lots of hours on the road. So when it comes to staying connected, you need a headset that works just as hard as you do. Blue Parrot is the #1 headset brand for professional drivers, and we've taken the quality you've come to expect from us and made it even better. Check out our newest headsets, the Pro B350 and Pro B450, offering you more hours of talk time, better voice control, extreme comfort, and industry-leading AI voice isolation microphones. So you can spend more time talking about the important things and less time repeating yourself. To get yours, check out BlueParrot.com. Blue Parrot, hear and be heard. It's time to step up your fuel filtration game. The AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel system doesn't just filter fuel like the others. It fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The AirDog removes contaminants, including particulates, water, air, and vapor, optimizing the pressure feed, providing your engine with the ultra-clean supply of fuel it needs for the quickest starts, smoothest idle, best fuel economy, and highest performance possible. Get started on the road to optimization today at airdogdiesel.com. Ready to beat the heat this summer? Keep your long haul, short haul, off-road adventure, or just stay cool while on site with Be Cool. Designed with on or off-the-road vehicles in mind, Be Cool offers you DC-powered cooling, low voltage protection, easy installation, and more. Beat the heat with Be Cool. It's the cooler way to go. With air conditioners for semi-trucks starting at $888. Get yours today. Visit be-coolaircon.com or call 778-590-5000. That's 778-590-5000. Want to advertise your brand on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive and help grow your business through one of the hottest radio shows and podcasts in America? We would love to hear from you. Rates have never been better to put your brand on our show, or maybe you just want to kick the tires. Email us at ssod@hotshotsecret.com and take the first steps towards taking your brand to the next level through advertising on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Alrighty, let me see here. How about a hello to Timothy the Pilot? Timmy the Pilot says, it's a nice, cool evening here. Just prepping for a flight after getting in from the greatest air show in the world at Oshkosh. Over 750,000 people showed up this year. Wow. That's always a big one, right? Major air show. And how many hundreds of planes? Yeah, people, fly in that, not necessarily participating in the air show. Everybody flies in. All right, Scrapyard, not the way he wanted to start his week. I'm sitting on the side of I-49. I hit a chuck hole, blew a steer tire, and bent a rim. Oh, boy, the greatest day of the week, huh? All right, Tim goes on to say, hope all you drivers are well, ready for another week of laying it down, getting her done. Stay safe out there. I guess John referencing the Sam Adams logger story there. He said that makes me even more reassured that I chose to give up alcohol 4 years ago. Very good. Hello, Michael. Good morning, good evening. Checking in from Skyo, Ohio. Right about 70 degrees. Clear sky at this hour. Some spotty fog. Getting a little muggy out here. Got about another 20 minutes to unload. Then it's off to the yard, and then my weekend gets underway. All right, everybody have a great evening. Good morning to all. Be safe out there. Watch for the deer. They're out big time this evening. Well, hello, Gary Montgomery on board. Morning, Steve, all the overnight crew. Kevin, morning, Steve, and the overnight crew. And on down the line we go. I mentioned our pal Brain Dead. Would normally give us a full report, as they say. Well, it's day one of vacation in the books. I don't know what Mother Nature's cooking, but the AccuWeather gods, ask her to close the oven door, will you? I got a few things done outside as we took our time. Took a lot of breaks, stayed well hydrated. It was 96 this past day. Had a lot of sports action, so let's get cranking. No pun intended. All right, from the useless sports news, LeBron James was traded from the Lakers to the 76ers. Or in other words, he left Beverly Hills for Philly. Well, I know our good friend Rick, our buddy Rick Friend there, has a little bit of extra coffee today as the Reds took 2 out of 3 from the Cards. Have one more 3-game set with the Reds next month. They're in Cincinnati. All right, racing. Friday night, Lane Riggs won at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Saturday, Carson Quapple won his first ever race, which was the Pennzoil 250 at Indy. I don't know if you've seen it, but he made a lot of people PO'd when he did his burnout on the yard of bricks after he was told not to by NASCAR and Dale Jr. He said he didn't hear them as his audio was unplugged, I guess, on the in-car radio. So they were out there with, like, the toothbrushes and everything, trying to clean up the world-famous bricks there at the start-finish line. Uh-oh. Anyway, now for today's winner, Corey Heim, winning his second race this year. I didn't have that on my bingo card. Christopher Bell coming in second, followed by Joe Elegano third. Denny Hamlin, he had a good day, finishing fifth. Tyler Reddick had a top 10 out of this as well. And before I forget, Carson Hocevar won the pole, came in ninth. Hamlin now has an 84-point lead over Reddick and a 120-point lead over Blaney, who have clinched a spot in the chase now. Ty Gibbs still has the fourth spot. Hocevar took over the fifth spot after Chase Elliott had a bad day. Also, as a note, Shane Van Gisbergen is barely in the chase at 15th. If the chase were to start today, then Cendric at 16th, Ryan Preece would be out by 38 points. Next week, all 3 NASCAR series are off for the final push to the end of the season. I bet you've seen that next year in the Daytona 500, Jimmy Johnson will finally retire as he runs his last ever NASCAR race. He'll run the 48 car that's currently driven by Alex Bowman. So what number will Alex run next Daytona 500? Yeah, also on the Alex Bowman retirement news, the internet chat boards have been going nuts with talk about who's going to take over that ride after he retires. Is it Connor Zilic, which he's already on Trackhouse Racing through 2027? There's a possibility of a jump there. Other names being kicked around, Corey Day, who's already on the Hendricks O'Reilly's series car. That would make better sense just to promote him, but There's further talk of Zilich. If Zilich goes to Hendrick, that Corey Day will take his seat at Trackhouse. Anybody got their bingo card ready for 2027? Other thing that they noted is the Clash will not be returning to Bowman Gray Stadium next year, even though NASCAR and the city of Winston-Salem signed a 5-year contract for the Clash. I think, NASCAR spent $5 million on upgrades to the scoreboard there, but looks like they're headed back to Daytona next year, where most fans say that's what kind of kicks off the season, the Clash in Daytona, where you kind of start Speed Week's news, a service of industrial injection serving Cat Cummins, Detroit, and more. Fuel injection turbochargers, complete engine solutions, the knowledge you trust, the quality you depend on.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today. Ready to beat the heat this summer? Keep your long haul, short haul, off-road adventure, or just stay cool while on site with Be Cool. Designed with on or off-the-road vehicles in mind, Be Cool offers you DC-powered cooling, low voltage protection, easy installation, and more. Beat the heat with Be Cool. It's the cooler way to go. With air conditioners for semi-trucks starting at $888. Get yours today. Visit b-coolaircon.com or call 778-590-5000. That's 778-590-5000. Truckers spend lots of hours on the road. So when it comes to staying connected, you need a headset that works just as hard as you do. Blue Parrot is the #1 headset brand for professional drivers, and we've taken the quality you've come to expect from us and made it even better. Check out our newest headsets, the Pro B350 and Pro B450, offering you more hours of talk time, better voice control, extreme comfort, and industry-leading AI voice isolation microphones. So you can spend more time talking about the important things and less time repeating yourself. To get yours, check out BlueParrot.com. Blue Parrot, hear and be heard.
Dean Michael, the tax doctor, here with Tax Help MD. As many of you know from Steve Sommers' show, I've been helping professional drivers solve their tax problems. I can help you too. If you've been struggling with back tax debt, call me now at 888-557-4020. Let's face it, these problems aren't going away all on their own. You need professional help so you can sleep better at night knowing you're in good hands. It's like I always say, keep your eyes on the road, I'll keep my eyes on the IRS. 888-557-4020.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he plans to attend the UN General Assembly in New York despite calls for his arrest by New York City Mayor Zoran Mandani. Netanyahu appeared on Fox Sunday Morning Futures.
I've appeared just about every year, not every year, but almost every year in my prime ministership, unless there are security conditions. But barring that, and I don't expect that to be the case this time, yes, I do intend to come to New York.
He dismissed the allegations as bogus and accused Mamdani of promoting hate and fear. The first Kenyan to play in the NFL has been deported by ICE. The agency says that 37-year-old Daniel Ogama Adongo overstayed his visa after his NFL career ended, and he had multiple arrests in Indiana over the past 9 years. Adongo signed with the Indianapolis Colts back in 2013. Border Czar Tom Homan told News Nation ICE recorded a record number of arrests in June, with over 43,000 people booked into detention.
In June, we had the highest numbers of arrests in the history of the agency, of ICE, and July's tracking even beat that. So we're hitting on all cylinders now. We're deportation maxing.
DHS data shows that nearly 66,000 people are currently in ICE custody as the agency expands enforcement efforts. SpaceX is celebrating the successful launch and landing of its massive Starship rocket.
Starship Test Flight 13 blasted off from Starbase, Texas Friday evening. After deploying 20 Starlink satellites into orbit, the V3 rocket then successfully landed in the Indian Ocean.
Starship descending into the Indian Ocean, down to 1, and we're in the water. and it's a soft splashdown in the water.
SpaceX is trying to get Starship ready for a crucial NASA test flight next year that could set the stage for the next moon landing. I'm Lisa Taylor.
From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
No matter who we are or where we come from, we all experience difficulties in life.
Military veterans know that sometimes it takes strength and determination to make it through.
Whether it's obvious physical challenges or struggles on the inside, it takes strength to ask for help when you need it.
I knew that I had to get support, not just for me, but for the sake of my wife and kids.
Talking about it has helped me feel more like myself again.
Honestly, it was hard to open up at first, but it's changed my life for the better.
Learn how veterans like us have reached out for help. And hear stories of strength and recovery at MakeTheConnection.net.
Right now, it's an active investigation. We have our detectives at various different places speaking with witnesses and the victims.
A Texas teenager is in the hospital following a mall shooting in a Houston suburb.
Police say one juvenile was shot and another is being detained after last night's shooting near the food court at Deerbrook Mall in the town of Humble. The Humble police chief says a bystander was also being treated for a gunshot wound. Video of the scene shows mall shoppers scrambling for cover and law enforcement securing the area. The condition of the injured juvenile is unknown. I'm Lisa Taylor.
Sean Diddy Combs was placed in solitary confinement after getting into a fight at a New Jersey prison.
The 56-year-old reportedly got into a fight with another inmate at the Federal Correction Institution in Fort Dix. The inmate allegedly said something to Diddy that triggered the altercation. Diddy's in the middle of his 50-month sentence for transporting prostitutes. He's enrolled in the prison's residential drug abuse treatment program and earned time credits to move up his release date to February of 2028, 2 months earlier than anticipated. I'm Natalie Migliore.
Two men are accused of parachuting from Seattle's Space Needle after police say they entered the attraction with tickets, changed into gear, and jumped from the top level. Authorities say the suspects have not yet been found and the investigation remains ongoing. AAA reports the national average price for a gallon of gas is $4.11. The highest average is in Mono County, California at $6.85, while the lowest in Floyd County, Indiana is $3.29. For USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero.
Would you know where to turn if you or a loved one became paralyzed? For thousands of families, the National Paralysis Resource Center has been that lifeline. But now federal funding's at risk. Sherman Gillums Jr., a partially paralyzed Marine veteran with the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation, explains why.
This is about more than just a budget line. It's about veterans, caregivers, and families, real people who need these resources to live more productive and independent lives.
Learn more at ChristopherReeve.org.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX-15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
Like the men and women who power America, the people at Hot Shot Secret work hard and play harder. We're the fastest growing diesel and oil additive brand in the country. We solve problems. We protect engines. We save you money. And more importantly, time. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
You're listening to the Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers.
From time zone to time zone, we close out the weekend. Make our way into the 27th day of July. Yeah, last week of July here. Next Saturday, we'll turn the page. First day of August. Won't be long. We'll be then talking about the change of the seasons. That'll be knocking on the door. Yes, of course, August. Still one of those hottest months of the year, much of the country, and it's going to feel just like that. Especially for folks out west toward the end of the week, next weekend, and into the first days of August. Mentioned briefly last hour that the tinder dry conditions, the extreme heat, and lightning strikes have indeed fueled an uptick in wildfires across eastern Washington, eastern Oregon, and Idaho in recent days. Many of the lightning-caused fires sparked during the North American monsoon thunderstorms that were pretty active over the past week. With all the persistent heat, parched vegetation, allowing those fires to spread into this week despite containment efforts where crews have been able to respond safely. Many of those thunderstorms produced very little rainfall, while gusty winds helped those newly ignited fires to spread rapidly. One particularly active period last week was the 22nd and the 23rd, when more than 8,300 lightning strikes were detected in Oregon alone, they tell us. AccuWeather says dozens of large fires burning from Oregon and Washington to Idaho and western Montana, producing that thick smoke that is significantly degrading air quality across the region there. Southwesterly winds carrying some of that smoke into southern Canada. Meanwhile, the fires in interior British Columbia sending smoke through the Canadian Rockies into Alberta. Some of the smoke has risen high into the atmosphere where the jet stream is carrying it. While the fast-moving winds help disperse the smoke, they also transport it across southern Canada and the northern tier of the central U.S., as the jet stream then dips near the Great Lakes. Some of that smoke loops back into parts of the northeastern U.S. There are still fires burning in western Ontario. They did pick up some recent rainfall that has reduced the size and intensity of some of the fires, limiting that smoke reaching the Midwest and the Northeast. Most of the remaining smoke from these fires and the ones in the northwestern U.S. Is thankfully staying pretty high up in the atmosphere, just the hazy skies rather than the poor air quality we had seen all the way down to ground level. Even so, some of that smoke may mix down to ground level in parts of the east, depending on the atmospheric conditions. The ongoing hot pattern will continue to promote wildfire growth, while sporadic monsoon thunderstorms, many producing very little rainfall, continues to increase the risk of additional lightning-caused fires. Now, later this week, a Pacific storm is forecast to sweep into the northwest. Instead of widespread soaking rain, it may just bring gusty winds and another round of mainly dry thunderstorms, increasing the risk of additional wildfires starting across parts of the Northwest as well as British Columbia. All right, a new day underway. 844-844-3388, the number to dial us up. Finishing up with our little sports update from our friend Brain Dead over the past day. Shifting to Formula One, racing in Hungary at the Hungary Grand Prix. Lando Norris won for McLaren Racing, followed by Max Verstappen and Kimi Antonelli. The next stop for the F1 is the Netherlands for the Heineken Dutch Grand Prix, coming up August 23rd. That's nearly a month away. Of course, can't forget about our straight line guys. They're at the Pacific Raceways in Kent, Washington for Muckleshoot. Say that 5 times real fast. Casino Resort Northwest Nationals. Doug Kalina winning in Top Fuel. J.R. Todd winning in Funny Car. Greg Anderson winning in Pro Stock. Also, when you get a chance, look at the crash that Joey Gross had during qualifying Saturday. Well, that's all for now. I'll catch the replay of the overnight drive later there on Monday. All right, and we were talking some stormy weather impacting parts, obviously continuing through central Kentucky, southern Indiana, down into the heart of Tennessee tonight. We don't want to leave our friends there in North Carolina and Virginia. We've seen some pretty strong thunderstorms continuing to produce some 60-mile-an-hour straight-line winds in parts of Virginia Central and eastern Virginia. Some of the stronger storms north of Richmond, starting about Ashland, Virginia, up toward Bowling Green tonight. And I do see 60-mile-an-hour wind gust, quarter-size hail being reported with some of those particular cells. Meanwhile, looking at the big picture, much is the case several weeks ago, early July, where we had that monster heat dome parked over the central U.S. It's kind of the same scenario where we've got excessive heat warnings as we get the new week underway, extending from the eastern half of Nebraska, Kansas, a good portion of Iowa, Missouri, western Illinois, on down to western Tennessee, Arkansas, into Mississippi. Those are excessive heat warnings, extreme heat warnings, regular old heat advisories, then extending all the way down from the Gulf Coast through the Florida Panhandle to southern Louisiana, again, all the way up into southern Wisconsin and portions of Minnesota, southern Minnesota as well. And we move all the way up to even parts of eastern North Dakota, South Dakota, where they had been seeing some extreme temperatures this past day. Things going to be breaking down a little bit cooler there as we get the new week underway. So I trust you had a good weekend. Who do we have there? Had over a 200 car count at Edgewater Saturday. That Gary, I didn't realize I was supposed to get out. Was that with our friends? Was that the diesel drags? I know that they had a stop on the calendar sometime. We talked about that down at Louisville. They're at the Mid-America Truck Show. I'll have to do a double check. I'm supposed to be getting out there to join Kyle and some of the guys from Hot Shot Secret when they have the diesel. I think it's the Outlaw Diesel Super Series that's going to be, they've got to stop there at Edgewater sometime this summer. I don't want to miss that. All righty, clear lines at 844-844-3388. I had an enjoyable weekend. Friday kind of turned out to be an impromptu kind of surprise birthday party for my mom, who celebrated her 79th birthday on Saturday officially, but had a chance to get together with our old friend, neighbor Dave and Teresa, Kurt and Diane, Doug, without Polly, sadly, myself, my better half, and Mama, where we celebrated at Roosters there Friday evening. Nobody eating lettuce. Anybody out there eating lettuce? Everybody was on the same page. Normally you'd get like a nachos and cheese deluxe, that comes with the lettuce and the chili and all that. Nobody wanted lettuce of any kind. Nobody eating salads. For my mom's actual birthday there Saturday, we did our traditional visit to the original Montgomery Inn. So fine dinner there to celebrate Mama's birthday. All enjoyed the filet mignon and baked potatoes. No salad. No salad. All right, let's move over before we get to some of the industry headlines. What's going on in the Middle East? I'm getting kind of mixed signals. After 13 consecutive nights of bombing the hell out of Iran, that concluded there, I guess that was Friday morning, a pause. No bombing campaigns Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, the mixed signals are, some are saying that, well, we're blowing through our munitions too fast. We need to pause. I don't know if that's factual or not. The actual report from CENTCOM yesterday, the top U.S. military commander in the Middle East, recommended ending the bombing campaign around the Strait of Hormuz after concluding it reached the limits of its effectiveness, a recommendation that helped shape the president's decision to pause those strikes against Iran. That was the report again Sunday. Admiral Brad Cooper, commander of the U.S. Central Command, advising Pentagon leaders, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the White House that the 2 weeks of sustained airstrikes had weakened Iran's ability to threaten commercial shipping through that strategic waterway, according to multiple sources familiar with the discussions. So his assessment, combined with advice from other senior military officials, influenced the president's decision Friday to suspend strikes targeting Iranian positions along Iran's southern coast and around the strait. This was the first pause again in nearly 2 weeks of continuous operations. Reflected the growing recognition among military commanders and civilian advisors that additional airstrikes would produce what they call diminishing returns without a broader escalation of the conflict. President, they say, made the decision following a meeting Friday with senior national security advisors and military officials who presented updated operational plans for the day's strikes. The president had been leaning toward expanding combat operations earlier last week, supposedly began reconsidering that approach Thursday evening before formally deciding to halt the strikes. Cooper told administration officials most of the military's designated targets in the strait had been struck, leaving relatively few remaining objectives. According to those sources, the admiral said the U.S. could return to major combat operations to destroy roughly 20% of targets originally identified during Operation Epic Fury that were not attacked during that initial campaign. Absent a decision to significantly escalate operations, Cooper argued there'd be little value in continuing the limited bombing campaign that had been underway. A CENTCOM spokesman declining to comment on Cooper's recommendations. The pause also came as military leaders warned about broader operational challenges. According to the sources, Air Force General Dan Kane, chairman of the Joint Chiefs, privately cautioned War Secretary Hegseth and the president that dwindling supplies of air defense interceptors could reduce our ability to defend U.S. forces and regional allies if the conflict intensified. Spokesperson for the chairman declined to comment on what they call confidential military advice that the chairman gives the president. So while military operations have slowed, diplomatic efforts supposedly continue. According to Axios, Iran and Oman remain in talks aimed at reopening the Strait of Hormuz, intended to ensure the commercial vessels can transit the shipping lane without coming under attack. It's not clear whether any agreement negotiated between Tehran would satisfy the Trump administration. That's the discussion between Tehran and Oman. For now, officials describe the military situation as quiet for quiet arrangement, with both sides refraining from launching new attacks while the talks continue. Supposedly, Iran has said, as long as we stop attacking, they will stop attacking. But, I mean, we've seen that on and off for the duration of this, which we're now, approaching 5 months? Most of the American people, and we've been hearing this more and more with each passing week on this program with some of our listeners, saying this war needs to end. We don't want to get into another endless conflict, right? Some 2/3 of the American people say they want this to be ended as soon as possible. We'll give you more on that coming up here. Meanwhile, it's 844-844-3388. Roll it into a Monday.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX-15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
It's no secret, today's diesel isn't as good as it should be. Diesel lacks lubricity. That can lead to fuel system failure, costing thousands in repairs. But you can prevent those issues with Hot Shot Secret products. Clean injectors boost cetane, increase fuel economy while adding 4 times more lubricity than the leading competitor. Claims proven by real-world use and confirmed by third-party ASTM testing. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Gene Michael, the tax doctor here. Are you tired of those tax problems following you around like a dark cloud, always in the back of your mind, losing sleep at night? Call me now and get your life back. 888-557-4020 or go to mytaxhelpmd.com. Pretending they're not there won't make them go away. The IRS isn't going to forget. They will levy your bank account and garnish your wages. Don't wait for that to happen. I'm not telling you these things to scare you. I'm telling you so you can benefit from my years of experience. Now is the time to act. 888-557-4020.
It's time to step up your fuel filtration game. The AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel system doesn't just filter fuel like the others. It fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The AirDog removes contaminants, including particulates, water, air, and vapor, optimizing the pressure feed, providing your engine with the ultra-clean supply of fuel it needs for the quickest starts, smoothest idle, best fuel economy, and highest performance possible. Get started on the road to optimization today at airdogdiesel.com.
We're down to less than 100 days till the midterms. And there was, I guess, a little bit of good news with the pause in the bombing campaign. Oil prices dropping back as we get the new week underway, Sunday into Monday. More details on that. But as I said, a majority of Americans are saying this conflict is going to grind on for months or years. More than 3/4 say that the fighting has proved harder than President Trump anticipated. According to a CBS News YouGov poll released yesterday. Of course, the fighting last week escalating, gas prices weighing heavily on households. A public that's rather frustrated, uncertain, and increasingly skeptical that they're being leveled with about the Strait of Hormuz. Ask how much longer the war will last. A measly 1% of adults said days, 8% said weeks, 37% said months, 21% said years. Yeah, altogether combined 58% see no quick exit here. Yeah, which is a striking gap from the president's early prediction that this campaign would be over in short order. 76% said the conflict has turned out harder than the administration expected. The public also wants out. 76% said the U.S. should end the war now. 33% said Washington should press on until Iran makes further concessions. That preference has held as the majority view for months, although the share calling for an immediate end has narrowed since June. Republicans who had largely backed the president on ending the fight last month now say the war should continue. Trump's handling of Iran drew 35% approval, which is under his overall job approval at 39%. 60% said the president makes the situation sound better than it really is. That's a finding that kind of tracks with the poll's broader theme of uncertainty. 58% say they felt uncertain. 57% frustrated about the ongoing conflict. All right, we'll get a news break. Clear lines at 844-844-3388. Yes, it's a Monday. News, a service of Industrial Injection, fuel pumps, turbochargers, and complete diesel engine kits for the heavy-duty world. If it burns diesel, we can help keep it working. Learn more at industrialinjection.com.
USA Radio News, I'm Chuck Brady. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he will go ahead with his planned trip to New York City this week and his plans to attend the UN General Assembly. Netanyahu made the comments on the Fox Sunday Morning Futures program. This in spite of claims from New York City's Mayor Zohran Mamdani to have him arrested. The mayor had claimed last week he explored all city's options, but admitted he had no legal authority to do so. Netanyahu is vowing a very forceful response, he says, if Iran attacks Israel. He said if Iran attacks his country directly or indirectly through proxies, it will make what he called a terrible mistake. He will meet with President Donald Trump at the White House this week, this as the president is weighing his options on what to do in Iran. America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Commerce moves fast. Your business should too. If you're not on the first page of search results, you're losing customers. Out of sight, out of mind is true. Don't let that be you. iLocal.net has helped local businesses dominate search results since 2009. For a limited time, iLocal.net is offering a free website analysis to improve the online presence of your business. Local business owners across the U.S. turn to iLocal.net to improve their search engine rankings. Search engines are constantly changing their algorithms. You need the professionals who know how to use those changes to benefit your business. Don't hope for new customers. Get found and be chosen. Call 888-699-2407 for your free website analysis. Don't wait. Call 888-699-2407. That's 888-699-2407. For your free website analysis, call 888-699-2407.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX-15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit. With a threaded Torque Lock design, these cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups us today. Truckers spend lots of hours on the road. So when it comes to staying connected, you need a headset that works just as hard as you do. Blue Parrot is the #1 headset brand for professional drivers, and we've taken the quality you've come to expect from us and made it even better. Check out our newest headsets, the Pro B350 and Pro B450, offering you more hours of talk time, better voice control, extreme comfort, and industry-leading AI voice isolation microphones. So you can spend more time talking about the important things and less time repeating yourself. To get yours, check out BlueParrot.com. Blue Parrot, hear and be heard. Advertising on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive can make a huge difference for your business.
This is Dean Michael, the tax doctor, and I just want to say advertising on Steve Sommers' show has been the best marketing avenue for my business, providing the best return on investment consistently over everything else I've tried. I've done it all from TV commercials, pay-per-click on Google, search engine optimization, social media, and publishing ads in major magazines, but none of them came even close to doing what Steve Sommers' show did for me.
If you're interested in advertising on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive, drop us an email at ssod@hotshotsecret.com. Ready to beat the heat this summer? Keep your long haul, short haul, off-road adventure, or just stay cool while on site with Be Cool. Designed with on or off-the-road vehicles in mind, Be Cool offers you DC-powered cooling, low voltage protection, easy installation, and more. Beat the heat with Be Cool. It's the cooler way to go. With air conditioners for semi-trucks starting at $888. Get yours today. Visit b-coolaircon.com or call 778-590-5000. That's 778-590-5000. It's time to step up your fuel filtration game. The AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel system doesn't just filter fuel like the others. It fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The AirDog removes contaminants, including particulates, water, air, and vapor, optimizing the pressure feed, providing your engine with the ultra-clean supply of fuel it needs for the quickest starts, smoothest idle, best fuel economy, and highest performance possible. Get started on the road to optimization today at airdogdiesel.com.
It's no secret, today's diesel isn't as good as it should be. Diesel lacks lubricity. That can lead to fuel system failure, costing thousands in repairs. But you can prevent those issues with Hot Shot Secret products. Clean injectors boost cetane, increase fuel economy while adding 4 times more lubricity than the leading competitor. Claims proven by real-world use and confirmed by third-party ASTM testing. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
The Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers. Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios. Call Steve now. 844-844-3388. That's 844-844-3388.
It's an El Nino summer that's expected to continue well into the fall, possibly this upcoming winter, impacting global weather patterns. I'm going to take you to WFLA's Jeff Berardelli, who's a meteorologist there, obviously, at WFLA, kind of stating over the weekend that this particular El Nino is, as he puts it, in a league of its own. Stating, he said, when you see me post about monster El Ninos, it probably sounds like I'm hyping. I get it. So he put a visual together, a chart, obviously, so you can see just how deviant this year's is expected to be. Now, they've got the historic El Ninos, water temperature and whatnot, and the ultimate forecast for this year when all is said and done. The top white line, the 2026 forecast, well above all the El Ninos of past, from super El Ninos to strong to moderate to weak. In the 175 years of data we have, this event looks far and away the strongest. Time will tell, but it has reached what they call super status several weeks earlier than any other event. In a nutshell, El Nino releases tremendous heat into the atmosphere that's been stored in the deep western Pacific Ocean for years. Now, that excess heat released throws the weather patterns kind of off kilter. And on top of the Earth's typical trends, it could bring global temperatures to previously unseen levels. So, meanwhile, the impacts obviously on the Atlantic hurricane season, bringing increased wind shear, greatly diminished tropical activity, which to date, I mean, we're here into the final week of July. The busiest time of year is still coming our way. Forecasters at AccuWeather, they tell us have a particular area in mind when looking for potential tropical activity in the Atlantic basin through the first half of August coming up here. And that area remains close to the U.S., just as it did for Bertha last week. Yeah, a zone from waters surrounding Florida, the Carolinas, Cuba, the Bahamas, and Bermuda. That's the area kind of in the spotlight that has perhaps the best chance of cooking up a tropical depression or a tropical rainstorm over the next couple of weeks or so. This area will represent somewhat lower atmospheric pressure compared to other spots, so it may tend to foster thunderstorm activity on its own. Yeah, there will be a couple of fronts that drop into the region and slowly decay, but the waters are sufficiently warm in this region to foster tropical activity. It appears wind shear will remain relatively low for a time compared to most prior weeks so far this summer. The approximate critical temperature for tropical development is like 80 degrees. Of course, the wind shear, the disruptive breezes that blow from one direction or many different directions through various layers of the atmosphere, which can prevent tropical development or cause a developed tropical storm or hurricane to lose wind intensity. One way for a depression to evolve in this area would be if a cluster of thunderstorms organizes into an area of low pressure and separates from the front in that region. That would then have an opportunity to develop some spin with a uniformly warm core instead of a non-tropical storm that relies on temperature contrasts on either side of the front. Because this zone is so close to land areas, given the conditions, it has to be monitored as there may be minimal notice if a tropical storm were to actually form. Now, a quick developing tropical storm near the coast could bring sudden heavy rain, rapidly deteriorating beach conditions, coastal flooding, and damaging winds. The forecast team expects a below average to average tropical storm and hurricane season for the Atlantic basin this year. They've been hanging on to that forecast. These lower than average numbers, though, are the result of the already potent El Nino. Meanwhile, on the Pacific side of the Central America, an above average to much above average tropical storm and hurricane season is forecast there due to the warmer than average waters in the tropical Pacific associated with El Nino. Recently, the first two hurricanes of the Pacific season formed. Fausto and Genevieve, named storms 6 and 7, respectively. While on the Atlantic side, we've only had two tropical storms thus far, Arthur and Bertha. We have not seen a hurricane yet. Much of June, July, and the first half of August are typically rather quiet during hurricane season in the Atlantic. Historically, the number of tropical storms and hurricanes ramps up rather significantly during the second half of August, then continues through mid-September. So the heart of the season still approaching, and we'll keep our fingers crossed. Coastal interest, thankful for a low hurricane activity. I did mention oil prices. Oil prices eased in early trading Sunday, falling further from what we set last week as a 2-month high. After the U.S. and Iran refrained from launching strikes in the Persian Gulf for that second straight day, the price for a barrel of Brent crude to be delivered in September dropped nearly 5% to 92.02 after trading resumed. Now, that was on the heels of a 3.9% drop on Friday. If you remember, last week, Brent briefly hit $102 per barrel. That was like $30 more than the most actively traded contract in the Brent market that was going on early in the month. Now, the ability of tankers to pass safely through the strait has obviously been the central concern for the oil market. Oil producers have searched for alternative routes, but those are also under pressure. Last week, attacks hit Saudi oil tankers using the Red Sea trying to leave the region. When less oil is available for customers to buy, the price goes up, as do fuel prices globally. In the U.S., average price for a gallon of regular yesterday was at $4.11, up from $3.90 about a month ago. If the oil prices stay elevated, we could see higher prices for every product that gets shipped, trucked, or flown around the world. Although the U.S. economy continues to grow, the conflict with Iran is dragging consumer confidence lower. The reacceleration of oil prices, just as inflation had started to slow more than the economists had expected, now traders believe inflation pressures have grown enough. They're betting on a 36% chance of the Fed possibly hiking their main interest rate, which I believe that decision is supposed to be taking place this week. Higher interest rates would keep a lid on inflation, but they could also slow the economy, making it more expensive for all kinds of Americans and businesses to borrow money. Long-term mortgage rates have already hit their highest levels in nearly a year, kind of chilling the housing market, and more expensive borrowing could slow the boom in building artificial intelligence data centers, which have become a big engine for the U.S. economic growth. While oil prices have given back some of their big gains in July, there is still a lot of uncertainty. All right, if the oil market in the market, traders are buying and selling contracts for barrels of oil to be delivered many months in the future. The price for a barrel of Brent crude to be delivered in October, which is right now pretty much the most actively trading part of the market, is now down to $87.48 per barrel. So we'll see where some of the numbers go. But all right, Vic, I do believe, joining us here on a Monday. What's going on?
Well, a whole lot. I'm getting some feedback here. But anyway, there's a whole lot of things that I guess are cross purposes, I guess is the best way to explain that. And I don't think I'm in that category to where basically my attitude is we're being lied to again. Because I didn't realize it, but Saudi Arabia refused to let us use that, it's PSAB, Prince Solomon Air Base or something of that nature. And that happened early on whenever we started to attack Iran. And I don't know if that was part of their original strategy or not. And somehow, some way, the Iranian people have aerial photos of that air base and all the different aircraft that we have over there. So I don't know, maybe they have some sort of a satellite service, or someone's furnishing it to them, but it's somebody that has aerial photo capability, and that, I would imagine, that was probably a key part of that strategy that they went into. So when that didn't happen, I don't know if that played into the decision, or they finally got bold enough to come out and say, when I say they, I'm talking about the Joint Chiefs finally had enough courage to come out and say, this isn't, this plan isn't working over there, because, as you guys were talking about there, I guess it was Friday night, we were talking about the mountainous stuff over there, and we really don't even have to look all that far. We have the Rocky Mountains over here. That's where the North American Air Defense Command is there. And the reason it's there is because it's next to impossible to bomb anything there in the Rocky Mountains and really get down to it. So I don't know why they just don't come out and just say, look, here's the deal. The original plan we started with just isn't going to work, and we're going to back up and reconsider the strategy. And one part of Iran's strategy is to try to make energy so expensive to everybody that essentially the Congress and all these other people, they will want to end the war. And I happen to notice the Calgary Stampede. It's a race of basically the old covered wagons and stuff that occurred this weekend up there in Calgary, Alberta. And they were commenting about there in Calgary, Alberta, which that's a oil-rich province, that money was flowing pretty good with the increased price of oil. People were drilling for more and one thing and another, and a lot of that oil was supposed to be destined for Asia and everything. And there's a lot of choices that we have that we could increase the oil supply. And the other thing is, there in Mexico, they have big lithium deposits. And I was thinking that Canada also had some for energy. So I think they should back up and say, we can make oil extremely cheap, and we're going to do it. And Iran might think twice about it, because that's going to cut their money off, even without the blockade. And so I don't know exactly what they're trying to prove. And my nephew that's in the Navy, I was spent 3 years ago. He had a chance to go to Djibouti, and I said, "You don't want to go to Djibouti." I said, because it was under Biden. I do remember that. I said, maybe with a different commander-in-chief, you might. Well, some of the people, I don't know if any of you remember this or not, but the Green Beret did go there. They pretty well were basically all wiped out. And that's the area where that Boko Reno or whatever it is, that's another guerrilla group. And they had a habit of kidnapping young girls. I don't know if any of them, when the young girls got out or not, but there were a lot of things that were already going on over there in that part of the world. And when they got into this war, it seemed like that the press and other people that were against Trump, they wanted to blame everything, the price of oil and everything else. I don't know why that they didn't let people know what all was really going on, because the press definitely wasn't going to give Trump any relief. And I think I sent you that one email there Friday while I was waiting on Trump and his nuclear program he's talking about. But anyway, they've known about this, what all was going on with Saudi Arabia not letting us use that one big base, and then I didn't realize how many small bases were there. And anyway, the press had the knowledge, but they never did really pass it on. And I couldn't believe that I'd missed that on, because there was that one little report there back in May, and so they knew about all that beforehand. So the reason I say once we're getting lied to every one of these quote unquote endless wars that they're talking about. The American public has never gotten the truth. But my point is, I don't understand why that the government doesn't come out, and every one of them, the government had the knowledge before the press did, but they would never come out and actually report it. And one of the reports I seen over the weekend was that when Lindsey Graham died, of course, he was there from South Carolina, and there's one whole expeditionary wing from Shaw Air Force Base that is supposedly over there, and they have the reconnaissance planes and all. According to that report, they have all types of aircraft over there to do what we need to do. And I don't know why, but they said something about that Lindsey Graham's death opened up the possibility of negotiations or something. So I really don't know what that's all about. But the key point is, I think that Trump just needs to come out, or someone, and just say, here's the deal, and here are our assets, and basically we're going to make sure that Iran can't blackmail people all around the world. But the people there in Calgary, it was interesting how that they were doing more drilling, and a lot of people that were supplying the drilling supplies, that whole I guess they call it a province there of Alberta, they were all making, a lot of money right now. So this Iranian war was actually helping them in their current economic stances.
Mm-hmm.
And we have things that we can drill too, and that would help the economy. And basically, it would just negate anything that Iran would try to do to hurt the world, because we can, I guess you would say, on a peaceful aspect of it, we could essentially negate that. But the big thing that Iran really keeps threatening its neighbors with, like Saudi Arabia, is their desalination plants. And when they desalinate that ocean water, they actually get gold out of it. I forget how, but they had accumulated quite a few ounces of gold years ago just by desalinating that. And of course, they need that. But one of the reasons that Saudi Arabia has to desalinate the water is they're using their groundwater to irrigate a wheat crop in the middle of the desert. I mean, we can furnish Saudi Arabia about all the wheat they would ever need, but years ago, people said they were going to put bushel of wheat to the price of a barrel of oil in the last energy crisis. So what I'm trying to say is that I don't think we need to just concentrate on bomb to the point that we're lowering, I guess our bombs, or whatever you want to say, our armament is lowered to a critical level. And we don't need to do that, because there are other things, there are other places in the world that we need to defend, and we don't want to get down to a level to where it might give somebody a encouragement or a false thought that they could come in and attack us and get away with it. So, but the first thing that has to happen is, if they don't want to lose public support and lose some elections, their best bet is just to come out and say, this is what we felt like we were going to do, and we know that Iran's bombing everybody all around them with conventional stuff, and had they achieved the nuclear stuff, that no doubt they would have used it at some point, and then we'd have basically have a complication in the whole Mideast area. So that was about it. And I did listen to the nuclear conference there, and they were commenting about some sort of a new technology they thought they had to power the data centers and everything. Well, that's good, but the data centers also use a world of water. But my only thought was, we had one of those small nuclear reactors years ago, back in the 50s, for the air base up there in Greenland. So I don't know. I haven't looked to see what they're talking about for their basically current small nuclear reactors.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if they get the small nuclear reactors going, or some sort of new technology, there again, that will lower the price of energy. So I believe we need to let the mullahs in Iran know that we're going to do like the Saudis did with our fracking stuff. We're going to lower the price to the point to where they're not going to make any money out of it, and they won't be able to fund their side of the war. So, but it all starts with the government just coming out and just laying the cards out and say, this is what exists. And as they always say, the strategy usually disappears in the first day of the war. So that's not anything new. But for some reason, once they start a war, the last few ones that I've seen, the politicians, they do not want to come out and admit, say, well, I think battle conditions are changed or anything else. They just kind of get what they used to call fleet admiral bullheaded, where this is a strategy we started with, and we're going to stay with it.
And like they never admit a mistake, right? Never admit it. All righty. Thank you. Hey, Vic, have a great Monday. News and service of industrial injection, heavy-duty diesel parts and solutions, from injectors and pumps to turbochargers and engines built for the trucks that can't afford downtime.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
It's no secret, today's diesel isn't as good as it should be. Diesel lacks lubricity. That can lead to fuel system failure, costing thousands in repairs. But you can prevent those issues with Hotshot secret products. Clean injectors boost cetane, increase fuel economy while adding 4 times more lubricity than the leading competitor. Claims proven by real-world use and confirmed by third-party ASTM testing. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hotshot Secret, powered by science.
Dean Michael, the tax doctor here. Are you tired of those tax problems following you around like a dark cloud? Always in the back of your mind, losing sleep at night? Call me now and get your life back. 888-557-4020 or go to mytaxhelpmd.com. Pretending they're not there won't make them go away. The IRS isn't going to forget. They will levy your bank account and garnish your wages. Don't wait for that to happen. I'm not telling you these things to scare you. I'm telling you so you can benefit from my years of experience. Now is the time to act. 888-557-4020.
It's time to step up your fuel filtration game. The AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel system doesn't just filter fuel like the others. It fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The AirDog removes contaminants, including particulates, water, air, and vapor, optimizing the pressure feed, providing your engine with the ultra-clean supply of fuel it needs for the quickest starts, smoothest idle, best fuel economy, and highest performance possible. Get started on the road to optimization today at airdogdiesel.com. Truck downtime.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero.
Our response, Israel's response, will be very, very forceful.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is warning Iran against attacking Israel, saying any response would be met with overwhelming force. He appeared on Fox Sunday Morning Futures.
If Iran attacks Israel, either directly or through proxies, either with ballistic missiles or UAVs or killer drones, it will make a terrible mistake.
Netanyahu is set to meet with President Trump at the White House this week as Trump weighs whether to launch another military action. President Trump is directing the Interior Department to place signs outside the Smithsonian National Museum of American History warning of alleged historical inaccuracies. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries appeared on CNN's State of the Union.
Here's the thing. Black history is American history, and we are not going to let the extremists whitewash it. Not now, not ever.
Jeffries says Democrats will pursue legislative and legal action to challenge the order. German police say the suspect in the deadly attack on Berlin's Pride Festival is dead after he was shot by officers following a nearly 24-hour manhunt. Authorities say one woman was killed and at least 29 others were injured when a van struck a crowd, and the suspect attacked people with a machete. A new survey reveals that construction is booming when it comes to wage increases.
An analysis by ADP found that last month pay growth for job changers in construction was up nearly 13%. Median gross pay was over $59,000 compared to $43,000 for all job switchers that month. ADP says the hiring boom for construction workers, along with their increasing salaries, is likely to continue while apprenticeships and trade programs grow. I'm Rob Martier.
In precious metals, gold is trading at just shy of $4,100 an ounce, while silver is at $60 an ounce. From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Business owners, are you paying high phone bills for old school systems and lousy service? StrongTel cuts your phone bills in half and turns every phone you own into a feature-rich business system. Sean Roddy, CEO of Hennings Brothers Drilling, had this to say: "We've been a StrongTel customer for over 10 years. It's great. It even includes an intercom with video to our equipment yard. I can watch live from anywhere with my smartphone. I'd recommend StrongTel to anyone. Never miss a customer call again with your StrongTel business system. StrongTel is a proud iTex partner and always welcomes your iTex dollars. You'll get award-winning StrongTel service, a business-class phone system, and cut your phone bill in half. Visit StrongTel.com. That's StrongTel, StrongTel.com. It's StrongTel.
More than 1.5 million cartons of eggs are being recalled because of possible salmonella contamination.
The FDA says the voluntary recall was put out by Midwest Poultry Services for brown and white shell eggs. The eggs were sold under several brands in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, New Mexico, and Mississippi, with labeling including Kroger's, Brookshire's, Country Morning, Simple Truth, and Sunups, along with a number of bulk grade A and grade AA egg cartons. No illnesses have been reported. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
Several families of 9/11 victims are beginning a petition that will have the mayor of New York City banned from the ceremony marking the 25th anniversary of the attacks.
Organizers accuse Mayor Zohran Mamdani of supporting groups and individuals who have been critical of America and being sympathetic towards radical views. The New York Post reports the petition was started by Giovanni Galante, whose 29-year-old wife, Grace, was killed during the terrorist attack at Ground Zero. A spokesperson for City Hall said Mamdani still plans to attend the ceremony to stand with victims. In New York, I'm Lizzie Radabali.
A high-quality bootleg copy of the Odyssey was briefly leaked online after being posted on X and viewed by millions. The post went viral, reaching more than 2 million views before the film was removed following a copyright takedown, and that account was suspended. AAA reports the national average price for a gallon of gas is $4.11. The highest average is in Mono County, California at $6.85, while the lowest in Floyd County, Indiana is $3.29. For USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero.
iLocal.net is offering a free website analysis to improve the online presence of your business. Business owners across the U.S. turn to iLocal.net to improve their search engine rankings. Search engines are constantly changing their algorithms. You need the professionals who know how to use those changes to benefit your business. Don't hope for new customers. Get found and be chosen. Visit iLocal.net/go for your free website analysis. iLocal.net/go.
Keep the bugs off your glass and the smokies off your ass. This is the Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers.
According to Freightwaves, as we get a new hour underway here on a Monday, I'd say this is pretty significant news in the trucking industry on the broker side. As we've been following for several months now, after the Supreme Court's ruling on broker liability, the fate of the future of broker-carrier relationships hinged on how juries would decide on subsequent cases. And a new nuclear verdict just dropped on C.H. Robinson. And the facts, they say, don't bode well for the industry. Last week, July 23rd, a jury in Dallas County, Texas, reached an eye-popping verdict totaling more than $600 million in a personal injury case involving C.H. Robinson and a carrier it hired. That marks one of the largest nuclear verdicts in a truck crash case and the first major case against a broker to be decided after the landmark Supreme Court ruling known simply as Montgomery. Now, the big question on everyone's mind after Montgomery was how broker liability would affect how brokers choose carriers. C.H. Robinson immediately tightened their standards, including no longer working with carriers that have a conditional safety rating. Who ultimately determines how much due diligence a broker must perform are 12 men and women on a jury applying the new broker liability standard. If the Dallas County case sets the precedent, it could spell trouble. In this case, C.H. Robinson hired the carrier Lupus Superior, March of 2021, to haul a load in a standard broker-carrier transaction. The driver was involved in a fatal multi-vehicle crash that began with another truck crash that caused a chain reaction. Publicly available information indicated Lupus Superior was a safe carrier. According to safety records retrieved in August of 23, Lupus Superior's driver and vehicle out-of-service rates were 3.8% and 21%, respectively, both below the national average. Even more relevant is the fact the carrier had a satisfactory safety rating. Additionally, C.H. Robinson pointed out in a statement that the carrier had safely delivered nearly 270 loads for its customers when it was selected for the job at the center of this lawsuit. While the jury found that C.H. Robinson's negligence proximately caused the occurrence in question, it also answered no to the question, did the negligence, if any, of C.H. Robinson in undertaking responsibilities of motor carrier proximately cause the occurrence in question? However, the jury also found that the driver of the Lupus Superior truck was a borrowed employee of C.H. Robinson. That's what ultimately kept the broker on the hook, despite C.H. Robinson working only with independent contractors. The carrier is an independent motor carrier. The driver worked for them. C.H. Robinson says, we do not employ drivers. Now, while the verdict is massive, the jury found that C.H. Robinson was only 23% responsible for the crash. Lupus Superior was found 32% responsible, and the driver got the lion's share at 45%. C.H. Robinson said it strongly disagrees with the verdict and will immediately appeal, obviously. In the meantime, this case raises a fresh set of questions about broker liability in the post-Montgomery world. That includes the value of safety ratings and the employment status of independent contractors and owner-operators. So one of the first big cases settled following the actual Supreme Court Montgomery ruling. Big. Well, on down to Florida. What's going on, Philip?
Oh, not much, bud. You mean that driver's going to have to pay almost $300 million in monetary settlement with that with that person?
I presume if
Are
they're
those folks?
45% responsibility, yeah, I mean, but you can't get blood out of a turnip, right?
No, that's an impossible thing. You know, I mean, you think how much a truck driver makes a year, even if they're on a good routes and all that stuff. There's no way that could possibly even happen. I mean, that's why I guess they call it a nuclear verdict. But yeah, even C.H. Robinson paying those kind of bills, I don't think that'd happen. I mean, and I know that there's going to be a lot of appeals filed in that deal when they do, you know, whatever happens with it. So,
Right.
But yeah,